Welcome everyone. This is both an in-person and an online workshop, so we will be live streaming for some of you. So thank you for tuning in. My name is Jenna Bogovich. I am one of the academic advisors here at the RTP campus.
And I'm Caitlin Fowler. I'm one of the academic advisors on the North Campus.
Before we get started and really dive into the presentation, I just kind of want to note that we're really all here for the same reasons. Most of us are on academic suspension, and that is our reason for attending the workshop today. So please feel free to ask questions along the way, because there's definitely something that maybe someone else in the room or online could certainly benefit from. For those of you online, please feel free to chat and ask questions as well.
Okay, so we like you guys to know what the purpose of the workshop is and what you're going to be getting out of it. So in this workshop, we're going to be defining and establishing the importance of GPA, understanding Wake Tech's grading scale, knowing GPA requirements for graduation, determining how to calculate your GPA, learning the consequences of an unsatisfactory GPA, and discovering tips to improve your GPA. So what exactly is a GPA? Your GPA is just a way of converting your grades into a numerical scale. It's taking your A, B, C's, D's, and F's and translating them into a number. The grades that you receive in your classes are all averaged together to arrive at one cumulative grade, which is then converted into your GPA. And why is that important? The GPA is what colleges use as a measure of your engagement in learning and willingness to work hard to meet academic standards and expand your knowledge. The GPA is very important because it provides a comprehensive look at your academic strengths and weaknesses and ability to challenge yourself as a student. So this is the grading policy for Wake Tech. As you can see, each letter grade is assigned a number. The A gives you 4 grade points. B will give you 3, C will give you 2, D is 1, F is 0, a W is 0 as well, a WF is 0 grade points, and a WP is also 0 grade points. Something to note that's important, pre-curriculum grades like Math 003, English 002, Chem 090, those are not factored into your GPA because they're pre-curriculum, so they're not factored into that.
Designate the difference between a W and a WF. A W is a withdrawal, so it's not necessarily impacting your GPA negatively, where the WF truly is impacting your GPA the same way an F would. The W is more so going to hurt a financial aid completion rate more compared to a GPA.
Yes, so if you're thinking about withdrawing from a course, always check with your academic advisor and always check with someone in financial aid to see how it will impact you. So we're going to ask some questions here. What GPA is required to graduate? Graduation requirements. So to be eligible for graduation, you must complete all the prescribed courses in your curriculum, and you must have a cumulative GPA of at least 2.0 in your, as your cumulative GPA to graduate. Now there's a difference between your program GPA and your cumulative GPA. A lot of students tend to switch programs because you're trying to figure out what it is you want to do in life, and there's nothing wrong with switching programs, but then that's going to give you a different program GPA for each one you're in. And then when you go to graduate, all of the grades you've received as a student here at Wake Tech, they're factored into your GPA. So not from just one program, but from all of the programs that you've been in, and that's how your GPA is factored. Any questions on that?
And so we use your cumulative GPA to determine academic standing. So when we're talking about academic standing today, that's really what we're focusing on, and we'll dive deeper into that in just a few minutes here. But when we're talking about program GPA, that's what's used to graduate you. And so your program GPA and your cumulative GPA, they could very well be different if you've been in multiple programs. So again, just keeping in mind which GPA we use for different items.
Pop quiz, true or false? GPA stands for Good Progress in Academics. Anyone in the classroom want to volunteer if that's true or false? Correct, that is false. GPA stands for grade point average. True or false? I need to have a cumulative GPA above a 2.0 to graduate. Correct, that is false. You just need to have that 2.0 GPA across the board. All right, let's calculate. So we're going to do a little activity to calculate GPA. For those that are in the classroom, you should have a worksheet in front of you. For those that are watching this online, please feel free to follow along if you have pen and paper in front of you. Okay, all right. So Jenna, she's going to write those, what the points are for each grade over here on the wall, just for reference. So this is going to teach you how to actually calculate your GPA. So we have an example up above there. So let's say the student is taking Math 171. Math 171 is 4 credit hours. The student received a B in the class, and so the B is equal to 3 of the grade points. So what you're going to do to find the total amount of grade points is you take the credit hours and you multiply it by the grade points per credit. So we have a little example down here that you can calculate each one of the grades to see what the class, how many total grade points that class is worth with the grade that the student received. Once you have the total number for the credit hours column and then the total number for the grade points per credit column, you're going to take the total grade points and divide it by the total amount of credit hours, and that's how you get that grade point average. So for those of you in the classroom and those of you following along online, we're going to give you about 5 minutes to work on this.
And then we'll go over the worksheet together. All right, take about another minute to finish up, and it's okay if you didn't work through the whole thing. We're going to go over all of this together.
All right, so we'll go ahead and start by reviewing this. So the first Math 171, that one should have been a little easy because we did that one at the top. We see that the student is taking Math 171. Math 171 is worth the 4 credit hours, and the student received a B in that class, and a B is equal to 3 grade points per credit. So I'm just going to write that over here so we can add it up. So, but 3 times the 4 is going to be 12, so that gives you the total amount of grade points over in that column. Next, the student took Bio 111, and Bio 111 is also worth the 4 credit hours, and the student received a C in the class. Would anyone in here like to volunteer how many grade points that C is worth? 2, yes, 2 grade points per credit. So you take the 4, multiply it by 2, that gives you the 8. So we'll write that over here. Next, the student is taking History 132. That is worth 3 credit hours. They received a C in the class, and we just said it. We know that a C is worth 2. So we're going to take the 3, multiply it by 2, and that gives us 6. Next, the student is in English 111, worth 3 credit hours. English 111 didn't go so well for this student. They received an F in the course. And how many credit points is an F worth? 0. So 3 times 0 is 0. Next, the student took ACA 122, and that is only worth 1 credit hour. They received a D in the class, and how many credit points is the D worth? 1. Correct. 1. So we're going to take these numbers and add them up, and that gives us the 27. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to take the amount of credit hours, add those up, that gives us 15. So now what we're going to do to calculate and find that GPA is we're going to take the total amount of grade points and divide it by the total credit hours. So that is going to be 27 divided by 15. Did anyone in here get the answer and would like to volunteer it? 1.8. So that student, if this was their first semester dropping below that 2.0, that student would then be on academic warning, or if it was their second semester, they would then be on academic suspension. Jenna, do you want to go over the grade replacement? How you find that out?
Yeah. So one of the quickest ways to raise your GPA is by repeating courses for a grade replacement. And so basically those two grades even out because the new grade you make replaces the old grade. Both attempts will show on your transcript, but again, in terms of factoring your GPA, that new grade is what's calculated in. So if we're calculating our GPA and we want to see what a grade replacement would look like, we can actually figure that out. And so I'm going to use English 111 as an example. So we're going to keep going with what's up here. So we know for that first semester we made a 1.8 based on 15 credit hours. But let's say the next semester we retake English 111, and in this time we make a B in the course. Well, we know that a B is equal to 3 grade points. So if we're taking a 3 credit hour class, multiplying it by the 3 grade points per credit, we now have an additional 9 grade points to add to our total of 27. Okay, so can everyone see if I write over here? Okay, so we had 27 grade points. Now we're adding 9, which gives us a total of 36 grade points. We also had 15 credit hours originally, and now we've just added another 3 credits to our total number of credit hours. So 15 plus 3 is going to be 8. Did I do that right? Is that what I need to add? Yeah. 18. So if we divide 36 by 18, does anyone know what that might be? Yep, perfect, a 2.0. So just by repeating that one English course that we made an F in, that brings our GPA back up to a 2.0, which is good academic standing. We encourage students to repeat courses that they've made below a C in, but it also depends on your program. If you're in a university transfer program, so the Associate in Arts, Associate in Science, Associate in Fine Arts, or the Associate in Engineering, you have to have a C or better in your courses in order for them to transfer out to a 4-year institution. If we're in an applied science program, a D is passing, and so you can have Ds within your curriculum and still graduate. You would have to repeat courses that you made an F in. So again, if you're in an applied science, that's really a conversation we try to have, which classes are worth repeating, or do we just want to move on and continue to make strong grades in our classes moving forward to balance the GPA out? So that's a really important conversation to have with your advisor and something we're happy to go through. There's also in self-service, in your progress tab, there is a GPA calculator now. So you don't necessarily have to manually write all this out. The computer system can do it for you to help you predict your GPA.
Okay, GPA for multiple semesters. So to determine your GPA over multiple semesters, you will need to add your grade points and your hours attempted from all semesters and follow the GPA formula. So GPA equals total grade points divided by total hours attempted, and there you have your GPA. So it's just like doing it for one semester, but just doing it for all of the semesters. Any questions on that, guys? Okay.
All right, so now we're going to move into the different academic standing levels and what they mean. So good academic standing, that's when your cumulative GPA is a 2.0 or above. So again, just as a reminder, we're using cumulative GPA, not program GPA, to determine academic standing. Good academic standing is what leads to graduation. The first time you fall below a 2.0 GPA, we place you on to academic warning. And so for academic warning, we place a hold on your account and we require you to complete something called College Strong. College Strong is found in your Blackboard, and it has a couple different modules within it to go over different topics that are related to student success. You do have to pass the quizzes within College Strong with an 80% or better, and that's collectively on all the quizzes. And so in order to return to good academic standing, your GPA would have to come up to a 2.0 during that next semester. So let's say our first semester, we fell below a 2.0 GPA, and that second semester, we also again fell below a 2.0 GPA. We are then placed on to academic suspension. For academic suspension, we do require you to sit out for a semester. The summer semester can count as a semester that's been sat out. And then we also require you to attend an academic success workshop, which is what you all are doing today. And we also require you to complete a student success contract with an academic advisor. So when we talk about next steps in a little bit, we'll talk about that contract a little bit more. But basically that just helps us to help you come up with a game plan, because we want you to be successful and we want to help you do that. We want to talk about resources with you, and we want to talk about, are you in the right program? What else can we do to help you? And so we do place a hold on your account so that you know you're on academic suspension. Once you've met with an academic advisor and completed that success workshop, we then move you on to academic probation. Probation is not really a hold or anything that gets placed on your account. It's more just a notation to say where you're at. And so for that third semester, we're looking to see where your GPA is at the end of that third semester. Here's where it gets a little tricky. Is this on the next slide? I can't remember. Okay, yes. So let's say, my first semester I was on academic warning. My second semester I moved into academic suspension. Now for my third semester, we recognize that it may take students a few semesters to raise their overall cumulative GPA. It's not something that we expect you to do just within one semester. So for that purpose, the semester after suspension, when you are on probation, as long as your semester GPA is above a 2.0, you will remain on academic probation until your overall cumulative GPA comes back above a 2.0. And again, when you're on probation, we're not going to require you to take any additional steps. If that third semester, if both your semester GPA and your cumulative GPA are still below a 2.0, then you will move back into academic suspension and have to repeat these next steps that you're doing currently. And then again, once that GPA hits the 2.0 or higher, we move back into good academic standing.
We have a question from online. Kia asks that they are out of state but on academic suspension, so they're unable to meet with an advisor. What should they do?
That is a great question. We could talk about virtual advising. If we can chat afterwards. I know you're online, but if we maybe in the reflection assignment, if you can just note to us that you are out of state and we can confirm that in your account, and then we can talk about some alternate options for that contract. Mm-hmm. All right, so ways to improve your GPA. As we noted earlier, the easiest way to raise your GPA is to retake classes that you made below a C in. You can enroll yourself into a course up to 2 times. We allow you 3 attempts total at a course. For that third attempt, we do require you to gain permission from the dean to take it. And again, that's just because we want to ensure that you're going to be successful in the course. So we want to just have a conversation about, what was going wrong, what can we do to improve this time, what resources can we use. Each attempt, excluding an NA, which means never attended, will be recorded on your official transcript. Yeah, question? Yeah, so the question was how many times can we retake the course? And so you can retake a course a total of 3 times. The first 2 attempts are kind of free attempts. We don't require you to do anything. You can just register for the course yourself. But for the 3rd attempt, you have to get permission from the dean to be able to take it for the 3rd time. Great question. And the system will catch it. If you try to register for a course for a 3rd time, the system will catch it and it won't allow you, and so it'll prompt you to come into advising. But again, every attempt of a class is shown on the transcript, including a withdrawal. And then the best grade earned in all your attempts, that's what's calculated into your GPA. And so that's also important to note, because let's say we take English 111 and we made a D in it the first time. Then we retake it and make an F. The F is not what's going to be factored. We're always going to take the best grade, so that first grade of a D still stands.
We have another question online.
Yeah.
Lexi asks, will I need to complete the Success course before coming back to the new semester, even if they've completed it in the past?
So the Success course as in the College Strong? If we're talking about the College Strong module, you only have to do that when you're on academic warning. And if you did not complete that initially and moved right into suspension, you do not have to do College Strong. We kind of bypass that and just go right to the Academic Success Workshop and the Success contract. If you are on academic suspension, you have to complete the academic workshop and the Academic Success contract 1 month prior to the start of the semester. So both of these items, if you want to register for the spring semester, have to be completed by December 7th, and we'll reiterate that in a couple minutes as well. All right, so just some simple tips to improve your GPA. Don't procrastinate. Figure out some good time management strategies. I think that's one of the most challenging things when we first come to college is balancing our time with school and work and life and just everything else going on. And a lot of us have a lot of other things going on. We're working full-time or we're taking care of a family. And so we understand that life is happening. And so again, we are here to help you figure all these out. We're here to talk about time management strategies. We're here to talk about study skills. So again, this is just kind of some different ideas. Study with a purpose and direction. Plan breaks. I think this is one of the biggest things I usually stress to my students is it is impossible to sit there for 3 hours and just study the whole time. It is really important to build breaks into our study time and also just to reward ourselves, just because that's kind of naturally how we work as humans. And so, build in that time to eat dinner with your family, or build in that time to watch your favorite TV show or go to the gym. Whatever it is that's rewarding to you, make sure you're building those things into your schedule as well. Also, picking the right place to study. If we know we're going to be super distracted at home because we've got the dog or we've got the kids or, we've got our roommate, maybe look at going to the library or going to a coffee shop, just somewhere else that is not going to be as distracting to you. Silencing our phones can also be a big tip to improve our study skills. I know we kind of all live in that day and age, and I'm so guilty of it too, where we are just glued to our phones. But maybe trying to set our phones aside for a little bit while we're doing homework, or again, use your phone as a timer. I'm going to study for the next 45 minutes and then take a 15-minute break. Yeah.
Let's see here. Erin asks, is there a way to get older grades nullified? They are here because of grades from 2013.
So if you have sat out for 5 consecutive years, you are eligible for grade forgiveness. And that will take out all of the Fs or WFs in your GPA, but you have to have sat out for 5 consecutive years and then completed 12 credit hours here at Wake Tech before you're eligible for that. But that could potentially be a policy, and we can definitely look at that with you. All right, so just some campus resources. academic advising is probably your biggest resource. We are on all campuses. We are here at the RTP campus, we are on the northern campus, and we are on the southern campus. We are here to help plan classes, refer you to other resources, again, talk about time management skills, study skills, whatever it is that you need, we're here to help you figure out how to get to it. We see students on a walk-in basis, so Monday through Thursday, 8 to 6, Fridays, 8 to 5, you can come see us. If you're in an applied science program, you do have a faculty advisor, so we may refer you there, but again, we'll help you get to the right spot. The Career Lens Lab is another great resource. Gosh, I don't think I can push this resource enough. If you are unsure of what you want to do, or even if you just want to explore more options, this is the place to go. And so the Career Lens Lab, again, is offered on all of our campuses. You don't need an appointment. You can just walk in anytime that it's open, but it's really gonna help you take some different career inventories that really gauge how do your interests, your skills, your abilities, how do all those things align and work together? And then it generates different careers for you to look into, and the career counselors are there to walk through all of those results with you and really help you figure out a career path. And then we in academic advising can help you pick out majors best suited for that career pathway. So we all work together. The ILC, or the Individualized Learning Center, again, we've got one here, north and south. This is where you can get tutoring for basically all of your general education courses. So also a great resource. We've also got the STEM Center on North and South Campus where you can get some additional tutoring for math and science courses. So if you're not sure if we've got a resource or if you're looking for a specific one, please come see us and we'll help connect you with them. All right, so next steps. If you have not already met with an academic advisor to complete a student success contract, that is your next step. You can do it today, or you can do it next week. It just has to be done before December 7th. Again, it has to be completed 1 month prior to the start of the semester. And so spring semester starts January 7th, so that's why December 7th is the deadline. Registration for most of you is starting next week or the week after. And so the sooner you complete a success workshop and the success contract, the sooner you'll be able to register for courses. Here on the RTP campus, we do offer appointments. Here's the link. I'm going to show you in the next slide how to make an appointment via QList. But again, we also offer walk-in appointments Monday through Friday. And so this just goes through. If you want to make an advising appointment here on RTP campus, you go to waketech.edu. You can select the Student Services tab that's going to be on the right-hand side of the screen. And once there, you would then go to join the line with Eagle Queue and then select the RTP campus. Once you're in the queue, when prompted, you would select make a flex appointment. All right, specifically our online workshop viewers, this slide is for you. You have to submit a reflection to us by November 1st, so we're giving you a whole week to do this, and it has to be done by 5 p.m. The workshop, or the email that you need to send it to is workshoprtp@waketech.edu. And again, our online viewers, you need to submit a reflection assignment by November 1st at 5 p.m. This is proof of your attendance of the workshop, okay? If you have any questions, please reach out to us, but we'll be noting when that is received. And then online viewers, you still need to come in and complete a student success workshop if you have not, not the success workshop, the student success contract. You still have to come into advising and complete that with us. And you can come here to RTP or you can go to one of the other campuses to do that. And for the reflection, this is what you need to include. You need to include what you learned from this workshop, any areas that you feel have interfered with your success, and the reflection has to be at least 200 words for us to accept it. All right, and that concludes the workshop for today, so thank you so much for coming.
We have an online question. Lexi asked, I was writing my paper as I was listening to the workshop. Or can they send it in now?
Yep, as long as it meets the requirements. Yeah, so the question was, do we have a Career Lens lab here? We do have one here on the RTP campus. It is on Wednesdays from 3 to 5:30. And it's right here on the first floor in the computer lab. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. And if anyone has a success contract to turn in, you can turn that into us and we'll sign it and take it from you if you've already met with someone. You have to meet with an academic advisor. Yep. So just make sure you do that before December 7th. Okay.